I always think about balance. It's the equinox tomorrow morning. Marks this, time in the year where it's special. It only happens twice a year, where the light and the dark come into balance with each other. And it's a great opportunity, I think, to have a pause and contemplate where you are in balance in your life and where perhaps you're not in balance in your life. And of course, the yoga postures of balance are helpful to us to cultivate not only the physicality of having good balance so that we protect ourselves when we, trip on the sidewalk, and we have that capacity to catch ourselves when we fall so we don't hurt ourselves. But even more importantly than the structural forms of balance in the body, this sense of balance, kind of introspection around where am I in balance and where am I not in balance, can be very helpful to help be a guidepost along the way to keep our compass steering north when we get a little off kilter. When we find equilibrium, when there's a sense of balance and equilibrium in our being, mind, body, spirit being, we have equanimity. We have this state of grace that can come, and it's always in flux. This is just like any kind of balance. Balance is always in flux. There's never a set static state where I got it and now it's just going to stay here forever and I don't have to think about it. Balance is this graceful movement. It's a dance that happens in our mind, in our body, in our spirit, moment by moment, to keep trying to come back to a sense of equilibrium and equanimity. So, of course, we're going to celebrate the equinox by doing some balancing poses today. From a physical perspective, the things that are really needed for a good balance, first of all, our balance changes as we age. The systems in our body that in our nervous system, those sensory capacities that we have start to shift as we age, and it's harder to balance. So more important as we get older to be constantly testing your balance. You think about kids and they test their balance constantly and they love it, right? How many times can I spin, the swings taking us up and down, the merry-go-round, the running and circling and rolling and stepping on uneven surfaces and jumping, and all the things that you see children naturally do that brings joy in their being. We forget to cultivate that kind of joy in our being when we get older. And it could be, fear of falling, my joint hurts when I jump, all these things that change as we age. But there always can be a way for you to test and challenge your balance. It doesn't have to be as extreme as a 5-year-old testing their balance, but there are always ways for us to work with that. So I encourage you to walk on uneven surfaces and paying attention while you're doing so, keeping the balance postures as part of your asana practice, and challenge your balance as best as you can in a safe manner regularly to keep those sensory capacities in your body alive. So in some cultures, balance is considered a sense. It's not, I have good balance or a balance, or, I must work towards balance, but balance is just one of the sensing organs in the body. And there's a few things that are required for balance to come into play. First, we need to have the relationship with the earth. This is of primary importance. The yielding that we're constantly focusing on in our class here, this relationship we have with the earth of the give and take, the not pushing away and propping and the not collapsing into the earth, but that relationship, that flow of energy is essential for our balance. So the more we come into relationship with the ground below us, the better our balance will become. And then the other things that are really required are strength. First of all, you need strength in your muscles to stabilize you so that you can balance. And there's lots of places you need that strength depending on the poses you're choosing. Your core is a big component of balance, as is a lot of muscles in your hips and feet. So we're going to work a little bit with that today. But besides strength, alignment is really important. If you're misaligned in some way, think about, stacking blocks up. If your blocks are all over the place, that block structure is going to fall down and not be in balance. Whereas if you line things up, and it doesn't mean they have to be stacked, it could mean that you just have equal left and right balance, or front and back cantilevers, that help you. So there's a lot of alignment that's required for balance poses: strength, yielding, alignment. And then the last one is this deep sense of attention, focus. How many times have you come off balance in your life, physically, emotionally, when you're not really paying attention? It could be a very simple thing like I lost my balance physically because I wasn't paying attention to where I was walking. But it could also be I haven't really been paying attention to my fatigue level, or I haven't been paying attention to the callings, the longings of my heart, and therefore I've swung way out of balance. And putting our head in the sand and not paying attention to those needs just makes us more and more off balance. And we can see this all over the world right now. Humanity in general is quite off balance with the earth and with each other. So what can we do in our little tiny world of our own little body and mind in our practice to help us attune to this equanimity that we're searching for? So let your balance practices today not be ego driven. Often our physical postures of balance cut right to the center of our ego attachment. And that's a good thing because we become aware. So let go. This is the joy of doing yoga in your own space. Nobody's going to see you fall, right? So you don't have to be embarrassed if you lose your balance. But notice that in yourself. If you're tied to your balance, if you are wrapped up in your ego identity with I have good balance or not good balance. I don't know why this is, but it's common for a lot of people to have this attachment. So let's work on the detachment at the same time as deep focus, this effort and surrender that we're always searching for in our practice. So let's go ahead and close our eyes and take a moment to drop in. Okay, so what's here for you today? If we're contemplating our sense of equilibrium, where do you feel in balance? What's working well in your body, in your mind, in your spirit, in your lifestyle, in your home, in your relationships, in your bank account, in anything that you feel in balance? Okay, so celebrate something that you feel deep equanimity around in your life. So let's start there to just let that settle in the body and in the breath. Drop down into the weight of the pelvis. Feel a sense of spaciousness in your spine and in your breath. Is your posture in a balanced state? Do you feel that sense that there's a slight level of effortlessness to hold yourself up? Can you find the sweet spot of where to place yourself so that effort becomes less? Now let's contemplate a place within your being or in your life where you feel a little out of balance. Is it in your physical body? Is it in your time, your schedule? Is it in your relationships? What is feeling a little out of balance? And just notice what it makes you feel like when you think about it. Do you feel off kilter? Do you feel stretched and pulled? Do you feel confused or turbulent? Is there a sense of uncertainty or uncomfortableness around it? So it's good to know. And let's see if when we come into our practice today, if you can dedicate your efforts to cultivating that sense of physical equilibrium, emotional equilibrium, so that you can put that energy toward growing where you feel off balance. In the places where we feel off balance, it's not usually enough to say, oh yeah, I'm off balance. But just like we practice tree pose over and over to be able to stand on one foot, we need to practice the art of balance. So whether that's learning to say yes or learning to say no, or learning to care for your health or care for your relationships or whatever it is? Can you practice? Let's return back to the physical form and seek your midline. Imagine a plumb line down the very center of you like a pendulum that is still. The bottom of the pendulum, the weight on the bottom of the pendulum is down in your pelvis, grounding you. Can you feel a sense of equality between the left and right sides? Feel that in your eyes, your jaw, your ears. Can you feel it in the two hemispheres of your brain? Can you feel it in the two sides of your lungs? Balance doesn't always have to mean the same. Our left and rights don't have to be mirror images, but do they feel harmonious? Feel your shoulders, your arms, your hands. The two sides of your pelvis, the weightedness in your sit bones, the way your hips feel. Can you seek balance? Let's bring our palms together at our heart. And this mudra of placing our palms together is a deep mudra of balance, of harmony between the two hemispheres of our brain, the two sides of our body, our mind, our spirit. See if you can feel that seal of centeredness through your palms. Gaze into the center. Breathe in and out of the center. Balance your pelvis in the center. And offer an intention to bring what's out of harmony in your life into this state of equilibrium. Let's release the hands and come onto our back. Let's come rest. So as you begin to move the body, let's enjoy. Okay, so stretch one side, stretch the other side. Notice how your sides are different. Notice how you want to be in your breath. Do you want to squeeze your muscles? Do you want to be more passive? What's feeling good? All right, and then bring the knees into the chest and rock a little bit left and right. Okay, so kind of coming side to side. And let's circle a few times, letting the sacrum, sacroiliac joints, and the low back be nice and gentle and easy. Go the other way, circle a few times the other direction. All right, and then let's bring our knees apart and back in, just feeling that range of motion in the hips and noticing, is your range of motion the same in your two sides, or is there a difference between your two sides? And once again, part of equilibrium and equanimity is not necessarily being same on left, rights. Okay, so of course we're not same. We have histories, we have injuries, we have patterns, we have habits, we have preferences. So we will not be the same left and right, but can you find equilibrium between your two sides? Bring your right knee into the chest, stretch your left leg long on the floor, and start to roll your ankles. And pay very close attention to how your ankles feel and those muscles along the outside of your ankles, the outside of your calves. These are your peroneal muscles, which are very important for balance. Okay, so wake up the nervous system in there, as well as all the muscles and tendons. And let's do the other side. Left knee into the chest, right leg long on the floor.
Let's swivel around our feet here a few times. Rolling through your ankles, wiggling through your toes, feeling the outer shins. Wake up the calves. Feel a good squeeze into the hip. And then as you're ready, inhale and spread your arms and legs wide on the floor. Lengthen, squeeze everything you can squeeze from your hands to your feet. Squeeze what you can. And then pick up your head and knees into your chest and squeeze everything you have access to, including your face. Okay, and then a little more gentle. Inhale, open up big and wide. You don't have to squeeze. You can squeeze if you want to squeeze. Exhale, knees to chest. Okay, one more time. Opening the body out. Feel that sense of harmony between left and right as you stretch out and as you draw in. Befriend the midline of your body, both in a moving away from it and moving back toward it. Enjoy that sense of the breath expanding away and coming back. Roll over onto your side and come up onto your hands and your knees. And let's start moving through some cat-cows. So arching the back, rounding the spine, taking your time to feel your vertebrae. So what's here? What allows you to move easily and freely through your spine? Are you able to breathe? All right, and then swirl things around. You can move your shoulders, move your hips around, move your head around. Just get into the little nooks and crannies in your spine, your shoulders, your hips. And then stretch back towards child's pose. And perhaps, you're working with a knee that isn't quite as free and flexible as it once was. Maybe you're working with a shin injury, a broken bone, where your balance has been a little off just by a change of movement in your legs. So there's so many things that can take us physically off balance. So be kind to yourself. So that part of your equanimity is just being okay with where your body is at. Walk the hands over to the left side, drop weight down into the pelvis, open up the ribs. Feel the expansion, breathe deeply into that expansion. And then walk the hands over to the other side, inching over to the right. Drop weight, relax the head, melt through the base of the skull. Deep breath in and away. And then come back to center, come up on all fours. Let's find our twist. Inhale, arm up to the sky, shoulder down. Breathe into the rib cage, feel the shoulder blades. Relax the head, take a deep breath, as deep as you can get it. And then inhale, reach that arm all the way back up and place the hand down onto the ground. Second side, left arm lifting. Drop that shoulder down, gaze toward the floor. Breathe full, breathe deep. Relax the shoulders. All right, and then inhale, reaching that arm all the way up to the sky, placing the hand down onto the ground. Let's find dog pose. Extend through your body here. Let's pay attention to your feet. Pedal out your heels if you want, bending your knees. Open up some of the bones in your feet. Get the calves to awaken. Feel free to lift one hip, drop the other. So whatever feels really good in your body. It doesn't matter how you're moving, just find your way into some freedom. Perhaps you want to rock and bend. There's no rules. And then eventually coming into Uttanasana, fold in half. Allow the spine to rest, melt the head. You can bobble your head around a little bit. Bend the knees as much as you want. So here you are, your head's down there pretty close to your feet. So let's spread the bones of our feet apart as much as you can. Feel that width across the base of your feet. Root into the index. I always say index, but they're the big toes. Big toe mounds. See if you can find that grounding. All right, and then inhale for a halfway lift.
Lengthen the spine, thigh bones moving back, spine gets longer. Feel the hamstrings begin to open. Exhale and melt back down. Push off to your feet, rise up, reaching the arms to the sky. And then the cactus, open the arms, take a big open chest. Exhale and round in. Interlace your fingers, press your palms straight up in the air. Let's open up to the side here, feeling the roots of the feet, inner spiral of the thighs. Inhale, come on up, change the cross of your hands and over to the other side you go. Okay, come back up, big open cactus, release the arms. Interlace your hands behind your back, open the chest, bend your knees and fold. Let the shoulders release, release the base of the skull. Release the hands down to the floor. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale and melt back down. Root into the big toes, spread the other toes away. Let's step the left foot back, the right foot forward. Come into a lunge on this side. Extending through your spine. Let's open up the legs a little bit. Square hips as you straighten the leg. Don't worry how far you go. Just moving between a bent knee and a straight leg and that front leg. Just waking up the hamstrings, waking up the hip flexors of the back leg. Just come into the body a bit. Now the next time we come into our straight legs, hands on blocks, they can go as high as you want. Let's lift the toes up off the ground. The heel stays down. Pull that hip back and extend the spine forward. Let the calf open. And then go ahead and place that foot down onto the ground. Rise up to a crescent lunge, reaching the arms to the sky. Feel already there's a little bit of balance that's required for a posture like this. And if you know your balance is a little tricky, you can always take the front leg out to the side a little bit more to give you greater, a broader base. Lengthen through the spine. And just touching in and waking the parts of our body. Walk the back foot forward. Inhale for a halfway lift. You can use your blocks. Let's pause here for a moment. Lift and widen the sit bones. Spread open the bones of your feet again. Lift the arches all the way up to the inner and outer thighs. And then exhale and release and relax. Let's step your other foot back. So now our left foot is forward, our right foot is back. Feeling that sense of waking through the legs. The hips are square, bow in. Keep breathing as you move, as you bend and straighten the front leg. Just enjoy the suppleness of opening your hamstrings slowly. And then the next time we come to straight legs, try picking up your toes. Your body may not allow for that, and that's okay. But just see what it feels like to lift the toes and lift the heart forward. Square the hips, inner spiral the thighs. Stretch through the big toe, pull the pinky toe side of your foot up toward the outer hip, and then release that foot down onto the ground. Find your yielding, sink your feet into the floor, feel that connection, that relationship with the earth, and then rise up, reaching the arms wherever feels comfortable, so the arms can be up, out, down, wherever you go. And remember, balance, sometimes when you have a bigger, broader body, balance is a little easier. So that might be arms out, that might be feet wider apart from each other. So don't hesitate to give yourself support. It's not cheating to take a wider stance. There is no cheating. Okay, it's just a sense of what gives you a sense of stability, equanimity in the body. Breathe fully. See if you can seek that midline, move away from it, move back toward it. Great, and then place your hands down. Walk your back foot forward. Come into Uttanasana, halfway lift, spine gets longer. Engage your quads, engage your arches. Lift the bootstraps around your arches, up, up, up toward the thighs. And then exhale and melt, soften. Push off your feet, rise up, reaching the arms up and broad. And exhale and bring your hands down at your sides for a moment. Let's close our eyes. So, of course, your inner ears and your vision are a big piece of your perception of balance. It's part of the sensory system in the body. So let's retreat away, that pratyahara, retreat away from the eyes and the ears for a moment and bring a greater sense of awareness into your relationship with the earth. So soften your knees and yield. I think you're all familiar with yielding. That's this difference, it's a balance point between pushing the floor away and propping your spine upward versus collapsing and melting into the floor completely. Find the halfway point, the equilibrium between those two forces. Feel the bottom of your feet be as sensitive as the palms of your hands. Can you feel the mat, the earth, whatever's below you? Can you feel hard? Do you feel soft? What's the texture underneath your feet? Do you have equal weight across your feet? So the big toe mounds spread out the rest of the bones. Feel the pinky toe mounds. Feel the arches lift up. Feel the heels root down. So find either 3 or 4 points. So if you like tripods, you can have big toe, pinky toe, and center heel. If you like quads, you can have big toe, pinky toe, and left and right side of your heel as your grounding spots. So as you settle those into the earth, lift through the arches. This can help you with that sense of yielding. That one part of your body is dropping down into the earth, another part of your body is drinking up the earth. So find that. Close your eyes if you can. Now let's seek the alignment. Is the rest of your body balanced over your feet? Are your knees able to unlock and soften? Are your hips over your ankles instead of pushed forward? Are your shoulders back and not leaning forward? Where do you tend to go? Are you a lean backer? Are you a lean forwarder? Do you hang out in the left? Do you hang out in the right? Where is your familiarity? And then with your eyes closed, seek that center line, the pendulum, all the way down to the center of the earth. See if you can visualize connecting all the way to the core of the earth and then rebounding up through the body. Become the conduit. So how does this feel? Do you feel harmonious? Do you feel a sense of equanimity? Finding this simple balance. We're on 2 feet. We're not asking for a lot of challenge just yet. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Lean back and look up and just notice if that changes your balance at all. And exhale and float forward. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale and melt back down. Step back to dog pose or forward to dog pose. Take your feet and hug them away from the midline. See if you can feel those outer muscles in the hips. All the muscles in the sideline of your body are very helpful for balance. Your gluteus medius and your IT band, really helpful for stabilizing you. So wake them up here. And then inhale and come forward into a plank. Let's start waking up the core, another big group of muscles that helps us have the strength for balance. Breathing deeply, focus your attention. So we've, put a little bit of attention toward yielding, a little bit of attention towards strength, a little bit of attention toward alignment, and a little bit of attention toward focus. These are all the things you need to balance well. Have your breath. Let's lower ourselves down to the ground. Take a deep breath in, open the chest. Exhale and melt back down. And one more time, shoulders back. Enjoy the way this feels. Exhale and melt to the floor. Curl your toes under, lift your kneecaps up, spread your legs wider. This is a great posture for waking up the gluteus medius. So legs are wide, lift from your thighs, not from your knees. So the legs are straight, lift the legs up, find the breath, turn the toes down, and then turn the toes out. And then turn the toes down, and then turn the toes out. Make sure you're stabilizing through your core the whole way. And then release. Come back up onto all fours. Find a moment to release your back. So do you want to be a fish and swivel side to side? Do you need some circles? Do you need a cat-cow? What's going to help you? Inhale and rise up to dog pose again. Feel the feet, spread out the bones, yield into the earth with hands and feet, rebound up through to the shoulders, the pelvis, finding the breath. Inhale, right leg lifting, three-legged dog, still spreading out the bones of your feet. Exhale, knee to nose. Feel your core engage. Inhale, bring that back. Exhale, let's bring our foot forward, come into a lunge. Rise up, slow and steady. Find your focus, find your yielding, find your alignment, find your strength. Spread out the bones of the feet, feel the arches lift, connect into the earth. Okay, let's bring our hands forward, hop up onto your right foot, and lift that left leg straight back in the air. So this will wake up a lot of those outer hip muscles. Extend through the spine. Feel the arches. Align through the center line of your body. Keep breathing. Where's your opportunity to yield in this posture? Okay, and then we're going to take a giant step back into crescent lunge, reaching the arms to the sky. Exhale, walk your back foot forward. Inhale, halfway lift. We're going to come backwards through that. So inhale to a halfway lift, extending the spine. Spread out the bones of your feet, inner spiral the thighs and widen the sit bones. Feel the plumb line through your spine. Is there yielding and breath happening? Do you have that sense of alignment and strength? Where is your focused attention? Can you focus your eyes? A drishti gaze, a steadiness of the gaze can help with balance. Big giant step back into crescent lunge, reaching the arms. Find an upward posture, find an outward posture. Feel the roots grow deeper. Feel your yielding. Focus your awareness. Deep inhales, long exhales. Okay. Bring your hands down onto the ground. Three-legged dog, lift this leg high in the air. Hips are square. Deep breath in and away. Lengthen that leg. Feel the yielding through your 3 points of contact. Place your foot down onto the ground, dog pose. Pull your feet apart. Wake up those outer hips. And then let's walk your feet forward. Come into Uttanasana. Do the same thing here with your hands wherever they want to be, blocks or legs. Pull your feet apart from each other. Soften the knees. Can you yield and rebound? Can you pull your feet apart? Are you still able to breathe deeply and feel the alignment in your spine? And then relax and melt. Push off your feet. Rise up, reaching the arms to the sky. If you get dizzy, you know what to do. Just squeeze to the midline. With your hands, maybe even your thighs, cross over to raise your blood pressure up. Come back to your yielding posture, mountain pose. Sometimes I feel like I don't spend enough time teaching you to be just present in mountain pose, Tadasana. Feel the roots. If we're trying to practice balance, this is the pose, right? This is the pose to really feel that centered alignment in. It's a great pose to focus your yielding, your attention, your breath, the way that alignment really serves your balance so that it's effortless. Let's bear weight into our right leg and just lift the left knee up in the air, stork pose. Find your balance here. Maybe there needs to be some breath across your chest and arms to help you. Maybe you want to bring your arms up. Where are you? Where's your sense of alignment? Where's your strength coming from? Can you lift the arches, the outer arches, the outside of the feet? Can they lift up toward the outer knees? Is your breath here? Are you holding tension unnecessarily in your neck? Okay, and then let's go ahead and release your foot down onto the ground and come into the second side. So you can have your arms anywhere they want to be. So there's no rules. Try to unlock your knee, hug the hip in, so try not to stick your hip out to the side. The hip hugs in. This is the work of those deep muscles. Soften the knee. Feel your yielding through that foot. Feel the bootstraps of your arches, like you're lifting them up toward the outer knees. Extend the plumb line through your crown and tail. Breathe and yield. Soften the knee that you're standing on. And then place that foot down onto the ground. What happened to you when you lost your, if you lost your balance? Did your ego attach to either staying still and not wobbling or to the disappointment of falling? So try to let go, fold forward. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale and melt back down. Step your left foot back. Your right foot's coming forward to a lunge. Finding your breath. Inhale, rise up. Let's twist. Feel your core engage a little bit, extending through the spine. Inhale, come back up and turn and open up to the side. So Virabhadrasana to Warrior Two, to the right. Okay, so feel the arches of your feet. Can you both yield and lift? Can you give and take? Can you feel that sense of relationship with the earth? Drop the shoulders. Feel all the working muscles in your glutes. Gaze out over your finger. All right, let's test a little bit of balance by closing your eyes. When you close your eyes, does it give you a greater sense of all the little honing that's happening in the body that we often don't pay attention to? Because our eyes are in charge. Keep the eyes closed if you can. Slide the back leg down, or back arm down your leg and lift into a reverse warrior. Okay, and then go ahead and straighten your leg. Find triangle pose. Open up. You can have a block if you want to have a block. Expand through your heart. Feel your yielding. Where's the earth? Can you play with the earth? Can you feel that relationship with the earth? Are the knees soft enough to feel that interplay? Can you move weight from one foot to the other, transferring across the pelvis? Maybe see what it feels like to close your eyes here. Notice how much we rely on our vision to keep us steady. What other parts of your body can you rely on right now to keep you steady? Can you have the yielding and the alignment and the focus keep you steady? And then go ahead and come all the way back up. Turn your feet to the long edge. Okay, heel toe your feet in. Come back to Tadasana, mountain pose, finding the breath. If you're not facing the front of your mat, go ahead and turn. Inhale, arms up to the sky. Exhale and fold forward. Pull your mat apart. Feel the outer hips, feel the arches. Inhale for a halfway lift. Step back to dog pose. Inhale, lift the left leg high in the air. Exhale, knee to nose. Bring that leg back. Exhale, bring your foot forward. Before you come up, go down, yield, breathe, focus yourself, align, hug to the midline, and then find your way upward. Reaching the arms, finding the breath. Let's twist left. Drop the shoulders, lift the crown. Unwind that and turn and open up to the side for Virabhadrasana 2. What does it feel like on this side? Do you have preference in your body? Maybe your arms are coming out, maybe they are not. Drop the shoulders, lift through the spine, yield through the feet. Breath and yielding go hand in hand. Let's open up, or let's close rather our eyes and open the arm up. Come into a reverse warrior. What's happening when your eyes are closed? What are you relying on? To feel where you are in space, to sense your balance. Come back into warrior two. Keep your eyes closed for a moment. This is part of this practice, relying on other sensory perceptive skills in your body besides your vision. Yield, breathe, center. Go ahead and find your way into triangle pose when you're ready. You can grab a block, you can open your eyes. Open up through your spine. Maybe you want to keep your eyes closed. Just like we learn to breathe with our mouth closed, right? If you just have a habit of always breathing through your mouth, it's difficult to get used to breathing through your nose. And same with your eyes. If you're used to relying on your vision for everything you do, taking it away for a moment in time is very uncomfortable. So see what it might feel like to close your gaze. Rely on the inner sensing. Let balance be a sense instead of something you do. All right, go ahead and come back up. Find your way, turn your foot. Okay, spread out your arms and legs. Turn your feet straight forward. Find your breath. Okay, and then release your arms. Walk your feet in. We're going to do that in the air. Okay, so we're going to tip our little teapot. So stand on your right foot, bring your arms out, and they can be wherever's comfortable for your shoulders in that plane. And we're going to reach up onto that right foot and turn your left toes in a little bit as you lift that leg in the air. So let yourself go past your comfort zone. Be wobbly. See what it feels like to feel your core support you, your outer hips, your feet. This is where your strength is coming from. How is your yielding? How is your breath? Where are you aligned? It's difficult when you're coming off alignment, right? And then come back, hang out in Tadasana for a moment and enjoy it. Enjoy how easy it is to feel the earth here. How easy it is to feel the alignment of your body, to breathe. Can you wake up your core and your outer hips? Are they alive for you, even in a posture like this? Do you feel that you're engaged without gripping? Okay, we're going to put our weight into our left leg. Lift that right leg straight out, toes pointing forward, arms go where you want them to go. Stabilize through your center. Use your feet, your peroneal muscles on the outside of your shins. Use your outer hips, use your core. Feel the crown. So there's still alignment through the body, even though we're coming off our center. Breathe deeply. Can you yield here? Where's the earth? Where's your focus? Even if you fall, can you maintain your focus? Okay, and then come back and relax. Inhale, lifting the arms. Exhale, relax your glutes, bend forward, stretch your back a little bit, relax your head. Enjoy being so close to the earth. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale and melt back down. Come back up. Stand on your right foot again, and we're going to come into tree pose. So you get to decide whether you want your foot high up or down low. So your toes can still be touching the floor. There's a lot of work to be done even when your toes are still finding the feedback from the earth. So don't feel obligated to have your leg up off the ground, and just experiment. Do you want it low like I'm doing right now where your foot is on your shin? Do you want it high? Do you want it on the ground? Okay, so every choice has a little bit different opportunity to sense your strength, your alignment, your focus, your relationship to the earth, your breath. What muscles are you using? Can you feel your foot? Can you feel those peroneal muscles, the outer hip? Is your core engaged just a bit on your exhales? Nice and fluid. Where do you want your arms to be for best sense of equanimity? Can you detach from the ego? Can you instead just seek the center? How does it feel to breathe through the challenge of balance? maybe try closing your eyes, or maybe tip your head back, or maybe do something that's going to mess with your balance a little bit, especially if you're super steady. Challenge yourself. And then relax. Maybe you want to hop, maybe you want to be still. Take a deep breath into Tadasana, mountain pose. Feel your rootedness. Become the stable mountain. The knees are soft. The breath travels all the way down to the pelvis, to the knees, to the bottom of your feet. Can you feel the arches enliven, become sensory? Do your arches feel like they're sense organs? Do the bottom of your feet feel like they're sense organs? Give yourself over to the yield. Drop weight into your left leg and turn your right leg out. So be mindful to not stick your hip out or hyperextend your knee. Put your leg wherever you want it to be, wherever your posture is for today. Two sides don't have to be the same. Maybe you have a knee or a hip or an ankle or something on one side versus the other that needs a different choice. So follow the instincts of your body. Put your arms where you want them to be. Feel all of these components: strength, the arches, the feet, the outer calves, the hips, the core. Feel the alignment. Where is the crown over the pelvis? Where are you over your foot? Feel the yielding. Can you give? Can you take? Can you give through the 4 points? Can you receive through the arch? Can the breath give and take with the earth? Where's your focus? Even if you fall, where's your focus? Challenge your balance. And relax and put that foot onto the ground. Enjoy. Breathe your way into the deep stability of 2 feet on the ground. All right. Inhale, reach your arms. Exhale and melt. Fold in half. Halfway lift. Maybe your eyes are closed. Go inward if you can. Exhale, step back to a plank. Hold steady. Engage through your core. Find that crown to tail to heel alignment. And then back to dog pose you go. Lift the right leg up in the air. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, bring that leg back. Bring that leg forward. Feel your yielding. Focus, align, strengthen, and then rise up. We're going to turn and open up to the side one more time. Find Viratu. We're going to come into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose, our final balance posture we're going to do. So bend your knee, grab a block if you want. I always have furniture getting in my way. Okay, so we're going to inhale and lift up into half moon pose. Soften the knee you're standing on. Feel your yielding. Wake up the feet. Lift from the outer pinky toes to the outer hips. Engage your core. Align your spine. Stay in the focused breath. Who cares if you're falling, wobbling? Stay in the focus. Okay, and then a big giant step back out the way we came. Inhale and come on up. Let's turn to the other side. Let's just come right into these poses here. Okay, so come into Virabhadrasana 2. Drop the shoulders down and focus your attention. Finding the breath. We're going to take ourselves into crescent lunge. So it's okay to have the block on the pinky toe side of the foot and kind of far away. You know, you can move it out a few inches to help you with your balance. I'm going to put my hand on my couch because it's here. Open your chest, lift this leg in the air. Be really mindful to not turn the foot you're standing on. You want it to point straight, soft knee, big, huge breaths. Focus your attention. Yield. Feel your strength. Feel the alignment. And then a big, giant step back out of the pose. Turn back to the front of your mat. Bring that left leg up in the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Stretch that foot back. Let's plant our foot down. Last time through Vinyasana, come forward into a plank. Hold yourself steady. Just like in mountain pose, can you feel the solidity of this pose, this anchoring into the earth? Okay, let's go ahead and come down onto the ground. Spread your limbs wide and inhale and lift everything up. Arms can be where you want them. And exhale and melt. Put your head down. Bring your knees a little closer, hip width apart, and windshield wiper your knees. Lay prone for a moment. You can turn your head the other way. Put your arms in a comfortable place. Feel the earth below you. All right, let's find our way back to child's pose. If it's comfortable, take a cat-cow or some swirls if you need to. Enjoy being close to the earth. All right, when you're ready, come onto your back and bring your knees to your chest. Circle a bit, sway a bit, whatever feels good. Let's grab our strap, okay? And we're going to lift our right leg straight up in the air. So now we have a strap around our arches, like that bootstrap I was envisioning. So press your foot to the air, root the hip down to the earth. Feel the rise and root. Let the spine rest. Okay, we're going to take the strap into the left hand, and we're going to open our leg over to the left. Maybe your right hand wants to hang out in the hip crease and press it away. And let's play. So first just feel this across your IT band and the outer hip. And then we're going to play with the peroneals just a little bit. So try stretching more through your pinky toe side of your foot and lengthen that away from your hips. So you just stretch the outer shin. And then do just the opposite. Press the big toe side of your foot further away from the inner groins. Pinky pulls back. And just go back and forth a little bit to, just loosen up the lower leg a bit. Keep pressing that right femur bone away. And then go ahead and come on up, lift that leg. We're going to put our left foot on the floor and put your right foot on top of your left knee. Reverse your pigeon pose on this side. Feel free to move if you want to move. Feel free to be still if you want to be still. Make sure you're still moving the breath. All right, 2 feet down onto the ground. Take a breath here. When you're ready, wrap the strap around your left foot and lift that leg in the air. Finding your breath. Moving the femur bone away from your shoulder. Feeling the arches. Stretch your foot. Extend the spine. Your right foot can be on the floor or your right leg can be on the floor. Can you feel the rooting of your hip and the rising of your foot? Does your low back feel neutral or are you compressed into the floor? Let's try to have a neutral pelvis. All right, take the strap into the right hand, cross the left leg over to the right. It doesn't have to go super far. We're not, going into a deep twist. Really, I'm concerned with opening your outer hip more than twisting the spine. So press your left thigh away. Maybe the heel of your left hand wants to help out with that. Maybe it doesn't. Extend the crown. And then once you're ready, start to play a little bit with the peroneal muscles. Pull your pinky toe side of your foot away from your knee. And then bring it toward your knee and pull the big toe side of your foot away from the inner knee. And hang out in whatever feels good. So you can move a little bit into inversion and eversion of your foot. You can be still. You can even do some circles with your ankle. Whatever feels nice. The spine is growing. The breath is still here. Okay, and then pick that foot up and let's put our left foot on top of our right knee. Grab on somewhere, either the right shin or the right hamstring. Feel movement if you want movement. Feel stillness if you want stillness. Feel the sit bones widen the neutral curve of the lumbar spine. So you might need to nutate your sacrum a little bit and lift the top of the sacrum just gently. It's not a big movement. This isn't you're not creating an arch in your low back. You're creating a neutral spine. Breathe deeply. All right, let's go ahead and relax the legs down onto the floor and find anything you need to balance yourself out. So perhaps you want happy baby pose. Perhaps you want a bridge pose or a Supta Baddha Konasana. If you're going to do bridge, do it supported on a block. Perhaps you want to butterfly your knees out for a Baddha Konasana moment. Knees to chest. Anything that's really steady and neutral in the body. And then eventually, after a couple of breaths, wherever you are, find your way into Shavasana and decide how you're most comfortable on the floor. Wide-legged and armed, do you want to be wide in your body, narrow in your body? Do you need support anywhere in your body? And let's one more time, just practice the art of focused attention. Practice the art of yielding. Practice the art of knowing the midline and aligning yourself. There's no strength required here, so we can let go of the strength practice right now. But all the other aspects of balance are still present. So just notice them as you lie on the floor. Let your body melt. Feel the balance in the center of your brain. Hemispheres equal. Like the center line of your body is the continental divide, and you slope away from your midline on either side. Stay in the breath.
Let's begin to breathe deeply again. Can you yield your body? Can you turn your balance into a sense organ? Can you sense your relationship with the earth? Feeling of connecting to the midline, both in expanding away in your breath and coming back. Do you have an internal sense of alignment, equanimity, balance? Let's bring yourself into movement as you are ready. Eventually find your way toward your side, onto your side. As you come up to sit, there's no rush. As you find a posture, can you attune to balance again? Can you attune to the centered sense of equilibrium, the harmony in that, the connection in that? And let's offer this focused, grounded energy outward. Share your balance. And remember, it's a tool to be practiced throughout the day, not just in yoga. How can you use this sense of yielding, aligning, focusing to help you make choices that stay in line with your true north? Namaste. Thank you, everybody.